Today we're going to talk about my spiritual awakening and how it changed my life. I first want to start with, it was a very dark time for me. I'm not going to lie, like in the beginning, but I promise if you stay all the way to the end of the video, I'll let you know the whole journey and the story of what happened. But first, I like to say I was back at home in Michigan, and one day I was just like going in my car, get ready to go grab some food, and I seen a homeless man. And I had like some leftover peach cobblers that I was selling at the time. I ended up gifting him one, and he gave me like a ring. And the ring had like a bluish turquoise type of color on it. He was like, "This is a good luck ring." And I'm like, "No, no, 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 I can't take this," because it looked like a good quality ring. And he was like, "No, you have to take it." So I was like, "Okay." So I took it. And after that day, like literally so many things happened in my life, like that I can't even explain. But let me continue and tell you what really happened like throughout my spiritual awakening. So I do want to elaborate and talk about who I actually was before, prior to the awakening. Like I said, I was living in Michigan. I was finishing up college. I was partying. I was drinking. I was lit, y'all, like top notch lit. I was like out of shape. I was definitely overweight, eating all types of Chick-fil-A, fast food, everything. Like at this time, I was at a space where I was stressing. COVID had just like finished and everything. And I was just out just kind of living my life, which I thought. So that is who I was prior to my spiritual awakening. But I'm not going to lie, the one major thing that made me shift was when I was forced to get the vaccine. Now, I know we all have decisions and we have to decide what we want in life. At this time, I was graduating at the end of April. It was definitely the end of April. And I remember COVID had happened around like March. And I still had a whole nother year to deal with COVID and change like my whole virtual reality. Now, they were like at my job and at my college, like if you don't take the vaccine, you won't be able to live on campus. You won't be able to work. And they had this whole theory of like, if you don't take it, I'm like, I've been to school. I'm getting my master's degree. So at this point, like I have to get it. Like I'm not wasting my money or going to school for nothing. So I ended up getting it. When I got it, my life, boy, my life, like my health decreased. Literally. So when I say decrease, like I was feeling fatigue. It felt like I had to pass out. My appetite urgently changed. Things was going on with me. I had already had the virus a few times, but like things just did not feel right. So it was just the time where I was like, you know what, Keisha, you got to slow down. And that moment, I felt betrayed. In that moment, I was looking for solutions and questions on how I can get this out of my body. Also, in that moment, when I actually graduated, like we're in the middle of a pandemic. So jobs were not hiring at this time. So I'm thinking I'm going to graduate school, go right and get a job. Things was not how I thought it would be. And then I received a call from my parents finding out that my dad had dementia and he had recently had like a small stroke, and also finding out that my mother had diabetes and high blood pressure in a form of cancer and all these different things. And it was just like so overwhelming at the moment. So it led from the vaccine to betrayal, to like a loss of finances, to having to make a decision to leave my apartment and where I went to school and go home and see about my family. Now, that journey going to take care of my family and see about them was very, very tricky. I will say that's what sparked the awakening, because it took me back to my childhood. It took me back to my inner child self. I was staying right in the bedroom that I had ever since I was a baby. And it forced me to go back and really think about my life and everything and all my blessings and everything that I'm really good at. And it was a lot. It was just like pouring on top of the trauma and everything else that was going on. And I also feel like if I did not go back and find myself again, I was going to crash out. Like I was probably going to reach a stage where I was going to crash out. I will say this, there were three major things that sparked my journey and my spiritual awakening. The first thing after all of this had happened, I was questioning everything. Like I was going through the moments, I was going out in nature more. I was like going to the beach. I was just going for walks. I was just going outdoors in the yard, just kind of like connecting with nature a lot at that time. So I started to question a lot of things. And when I say question things, it was like, okay, who am I? What's going on in the world? Why do we have a pandemic? Why is all this going on? And it was just a lot of spiritual things, like about my belief systems and everything that I was told. And that was the first thing. That was like the first major change that happened. The second major change was a shift in my focus and my mindset. Like I was drawn to like motivational podcasts and books and following coaches and like taking care of myself. Like I remember going to Planet Fitness like every night, like around 11 o'clock, working out, like literally just kind of doing all of this. And then at the time, I was also drawn to my hometown high school, and I was working with some students at this time. I was kind of getting back to my heritage and helping students in a way that I would have wanted to been helped at their age as well. So it was like I was in the educational space, changing my mindset. I was questioning things. And then last but not least, my health journey. So like when I said I had the vaccine, my taste buds shift. Like nothing tastes the same anymore. Like I went from not eating badly, but like I was eating out a lot because I just was out, I can't tell you why. But I went to not liking the things that I was eating and went to like eating all fruits and salads and veggies and nuts. And I was just going through this major detox, and it got so deep. Like I was looking into sea moss and all these different things of like to try to get this out of my body. So like I was going through the educational shift, questioning everything, and my health journey all at one time. Those were the three major changes that was happening all to me. And at this time, I was in isolation. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I had cut everybody off. I thought I was going crazy. I was going down rants. And it was just like a lot. But it really taught me a lot during that time. Like I was getting a lot of messages. I was really deep within myself. To kind of sum this video up, because I don't want to like tell you like my full life story or anything, but I want to tell you three things that I learned. But as I talk about the first thing, healing. Healing really took a lot of time. Like it took years. Like it took this journey for me to go find myself, spend my time with my family. My dad ended up passing. I ended up meeting my soulmate to help me along this journey. And healing really takes a process. So I really want to encourage and let you guys know that if you're going through your spiritual awakening, do not try to rush it. It is a process, and you don't know how long that process will take. For me, it was a few years. The second thing I learned is just how to breathe and how to just appreciate everything around me. Um, when we are like in survival mode and it's a lot going on, it's hard for us to breathe. So when you just take a moment and breathe through your core and not just your throat, you will really put your nervous system in a calm state. So I really learned how to breathe, and I really learned how to appreciate everything around me, like appreciate the blessings I had, the opportunities I had, the resources I had. And that was like the second thing that I had to learn. The third thing I learned was just consistency. And consistency comes with doing things every single day. So making sure I wake up before work, make my smoothies, listening to that motivational podcast on my way to work, going to get some sun on my break, just getting hard with my content and everything. And around this time, like I was literally doing things every single day and motivated, and I was going through a spiritual awakening, and I was raw with the information. So like a lot of my content was just like, Urgh! And people was like, what's going on? But at that time, I was consistent and I was eager. So those are the three things that I learned. So to kind of sum this all up, I am now a mom. I am a new mom. I'm traveling the world. I have so many different ventures and different opportunities now. My purpose has shifted along with my journey. And now I focus a lot on health and wellness and branding and just helping people glow from within and really prioritize their journey of being a better version of themselves. So that is where I am now. And if you reach this far, thank you for tuning in to my channel and just kind of listening to my story. If you subscribe, I promise I will share different ways that can help you along your journey and your life. I really appreciate you, and I'm excited for this growth journey for all of us.